Hi, this is Professor Earth, and I'm here to talk about climate enshittification. And there sure is a heck of a lot of that going on right now. But the aspect of climate enshittification that I want to talk about today is some new data that shows that the rate of climate enshittification is increasing rapidly. In fact, it's more than quadrupled over the last 40 years. So we had a rate of global warming creating climate enshittification, and it is increasing and then increasing again. And it's going to continue to increase into the future. Well, how do we know this? Well, the data that I'm talking about was recently published in a paper in Environmental Research Letters, and it's entitled Quantifying the Acceleration of Multi-Decadal Global Sea Surface Warming Driven by Earth's Energy Imbalance. And this was work done by Christopher Marchant, Richard Allen, and Owen Embry. And their approach was to look at sea surface data. Now, the advantage of looking at sea surface temperature data as opposed to atmospheric data is that we're looking at thermometers, but thermometers in cities, thermometers where people live, are subject to certain errors. There's things called heat islands in cities. Cities are naturally warmer than the surrounding area. There's problems with the weathermen perhaps not putting the thermometer far enough away from the building. So if you put the thermometers into the ocean, you escape this problem. And what's more, the ocean itself as a medium tends to average out temperatures. So it does kind of a natural smoothing of the temperature data, which through a year and through seasonal changes and weather events is very erratic and irregular. The ocean will even these out, it's naturally smoothing it, so we get a very consistent pattern of global warming. And what we see is that global warming is increasing steadily, and recently it's been accelerating dramatically. So in this paper, they quantify just how much global warming we're seeing per decade. And in the 1980s, we were seeing about 0.06 degrees per year of global warming. But by the time we get to the most recent data, we're up to almost 0.3 degrees per year. This is degrees centigrade. So this is a dramatic increase in global warming. Why is this happening? Well, these people believe it's because looking at satellite data, and we have a very limited set of satellite data. NASA just put an instrument up to measure this within about the last 20 years. So energy is accumulating on the planet, and this is, in fact, the greenhouse effect. Just like a greenhouse holds in some of the sun's warmth and makes things warmer within the greenhouse, greenhouse gases like CO2 in the atmosphere they're increasing in concentration. So this is increasing the amount of thermal energy trapped in the Earth's atmosphere. This is increasing the amount of global warming. And this warming is affecting not only the ocean, but the atmospheres. We see it very clearly in the ocean data. It's accelerating. So what this means is that the effects of global warming are becoming more and more dramatic. Things like the fires that we're seeing in Los Angeles, for instance, destroyed huge areas of the city. Well, these are due to global warming. Heat waves, drought affecting the plants, heat stress then leading to the massive fires. Now we're getting massive flooding through South Central United States. Again, things that involve flooding and atmospheric energy increasing global warming because the atmosphere is warmer. It can hold more water in the clouds. So it's very reasonable that the storms that we see are going to be more intense, more dramatic, more rainfall, worse flooding. So all of these problems are increasing, and they're just going to increase and get worse as we go into the future. Okay, have a nice day.